everyone, welcome back to Top 10 Cinebinge. Today, we're diving headfirst into chaos, destruction, and pure adrenaline as we count down the top 10 best disaster movies you absolutely need to watch. From massive tsunamis to devastating earthquakes, these films deliver heart-pounding action, emotional depth, and moments that'll leave you holding your breath. So grab your popcorn, buckle up, and let's gake that guy. Number 10, Into the Storm 2014. Starting off our list is Into the Storm, a 2014 found footage style disaster flick that really puts you in the middle of nature's fury. The story follows a group of storm chasers, high school students, and residents of Silverton as they try to survive a wave of catastrophic tornadoes tearing the town apart. I'll be honest, this movie doesn't try to reinvent the genre, but what it does really well is make you feel like you're right there. The visual effects are surprisingly solid, especially those intense vortex shots. And yes, there's that jaw-dropping scene with the fire tornado. Easily my favorite part. It's fast-paced, chaotic, and perfect for anyone who loves the raw power of nature on full display. If you enjoyed movies like Twister, this one's definitely worth your time. Number 9, The Quake 2018. The Quake is a Norwegian disaster thriller and honestly one of the most underrated entries in this genre. Serving as a sequel to The Wave, the movie follows geologist Christian Eikjord, who suspects Oslo is on the brink of a massive earthquake. What makes this film stand out is that it's not just about collapsing buildings and shaky camera work, it's deeply human. The emotional stakes are high, especially as Christian tries to save his family amidst the chaos. I personally loved how grounded and realistic it felt. You're not just watching a disaster, you're living it through the character's fears. If you're tired of over-the-top Hollywood destruction, this one brings a refreshing European touch with solid acting and stunning visual. Number 8, The Burning Sea. Coming in next. The Burning Sea is another Norwegian gem that raises the tension to boiling point, literally. After an offshore oil rig collapses, triggering a chain reaction, a marine biologist is forced into a dangerous rescue mission while battling an environmental catastrophe. This one blends a high-stakes disaster with a strong environmental message. It's not just explosions and collapsing rigs, it explores human greed, survival instincts, and sacrifice. Personally, I loved how it kept me on edge without relying on cheesy cliches. It's visually stunning too. The underwater shots are breathtaking and terrifying at the same time. If you want a disaster movie that also makes you think, this one's worth checking out. Number 7, The Wave. If you want pure tension from start to finish, The Wave delivers it in style. Based on a real-life Norwegian fjord disaster, the film follows a geologist and his family as a massive tsunami wipes out their town. What I really admire here is how realistic it feels. Unlike typical Hollywood disaster flicks, this one builds up slowly, giving you time to connect with the characters before chaos strikes. When that massive wall of water finally hits, wow, you'll be holding your breath. If you haven't seen it yet, watch this one before the Quake to get the full experience. Trust me, it's worth it. Number 6, Ashfall. Ashfall, a South Korean disaster blockbuster released in 2019, delivers exactly what you'd expect. Adrenaline and jaw-dropping tension. The story kicks off when Mount Paektu, a volcano on the border of North Korea and China, erupts violently, threatening to trigger a chain reaction of even more devastating quakes across the Korean peninsula. To prevent complete annihilation, a daring plan is hatched. A team must infiltrate North Korea to recover nuclear warheads and set off a controlled detonation to stop the worst from happening. What I really love about this movie is that it doesn't just rely on spectacle. It mixes action, politics, and humanity seamlessly. The uneasy partnership between the South Korean explosives expert and a North Korean officer adds so much tension and depth to the story. Their chemistry is electric, and the way the dynamic evolves makes the emotional beats hit harder. And let's talk visuals. Wow. From collapsing skyscrapers to fiery ash clouds, the CGI is top-notch, and the pacing keeps you hooked throughout. Ashfall is easily one of my personal favorites in the disaster genre because it offers high-stakes action with a fresh perspective. If you love movies like 2012 or San Andreas, this is right up your alley. If you love survival-driven disaster stories, this is an essential watch.
Number 5. The Finest Hours, 2016.
You don't know what it's like out there.
The compass is gone!
Please.
The Finest Hours is based on the true story of a daring U.S. Coast Guard rescue in 1952. When a massive storm splits a tanker in two, a small crew heads into impossible conditions to save the trapped sailors. What I love most here is that the stakes feel real. It's not exaggerated. These events actually happened. Chris Pine delivers a heartfelt performance, and the visuals of the raging sea are phenomenal. Seriously, you'll feel cold just watching it. It's an inspiring watch about courage, sacrifice, and the human spirit. One of the best heroic rescue disaster films out there. Number 4. The Impossible, 2012. Based on the real-life 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, The Impossible is an emotional roller coaster that will wreck you in the best way. The film follows a family's desperate struggle to survive and reunite after the catastrophic wave. Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor give phenomenal performances, but it's young Tom Holland who truly steals the show here. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up more than once watching this. It's beautifully shot and heartbreakingly real. Out of all the movies in this list, this is the one that stays with you long after the credits roll. Number 3, Concrete Utopia, 2023. If you're into Korean cinema, Concrete Utopia is a must-watch. After a massive earthquake destroys Seoul, a single apartment complex remains standing, but survival brings out the worst in people. This film brilliantly blends disaster with psychological drama. Watching neighbors turn against each other while fighting for resources feels uncomfortably real. Lee Byung-hun delivers a powerhouse performance, and the direction is razor-sharp. It's tense, emotional, and layered, a rare gem in the disaster genre. Number 2, Mira, 2022. Mira is a Russian sci-fi disaster drama released in 2022, and it's honestly one of the most visually stunning entries in this genre. The story follows Lyra, a teenage girl living in Vladivostok who becomes trapped after a massive meteor shower wreaks havoc on the city. With chaos unfolding around her, she struggles to survive, guided only by the voice of her estranged father, who communicates with her through a malfunctioning AI system called Mira. What makes this movie stand out for me isn't just the disaster itself, but the emotional depth behind it. At its core, this isn't just about meteors and destruction. It's about a fractured relationship between a father and daughter, and how a tragedy forces them to reconnect against all odds. That emotional anchor really hooked me. Visually, Mira is breathtaking. The disaster sequences feel huge and immersive, but they never overshadow the human element. It's one of those rare disaster movies that balances heart, scale, and spectacle in a way that keeps you invested from start to finish. If you love sci-fi mixed with raw emotion, this one's worth a watch. Number 1, These Final Hours, 2013. Ever wondered what people would do if the world was ending in 12 hours? These Final Hours answers that question with brutal honesty. Set in Australia, the movie follows James, a man searching for meaning in his last day alive before a global catastrophe wipes out humanity. This isn't your typical disaster flick. There are no big explosions or epic survival missions. Instead, it's raw, emotional, and incredibly thought-provoking. I personally found it haunting in the best way. If you're in the mood for something darker and more character-driven, this one's a must-watch. And there you have it, my top 10 best disaster movies you absolutely need to add to your watch list. Some are emotional, some are intense, and a few will leave you speechless. Which one's your favorite? Or did I miss one you think deserves a spot on the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear them. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for more amazing movies.